Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Founders Lobby with Stephanie. I'm Stephanie, obviously, and on this episode we have the founder of Streamlink. Hi Amaka, how are you doing today?
Hello, I'm okay. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. So before we get right into, before we start talking about Streamlink, let's know Amaka. Who is she? Who was she? And who is she now? Like, who was she before Web3 and building on Solana?
Okay, so before building Solana, I was a developer, like just a developer. I was probably like a front-end developer, in that I just wrote like the front-facing the UI, and I didn't really bother myself with the back-end and stuff like that. So do full stack or program, start smart contracts or any of that stuff. So like before building Solana, I was a developer. I'm still a developer now, but I'm a developer and a founder as well. So yeah.
Before you became a developer,
before I became a developer. So before I became a developer, I think I worked in Fair Money as a customer service rep.
You worked in Fair Money?
Yeah, I worked in Fair Money for like 2 years.
Wow.
I worked in Fair Money for 2 years plus. I worked in Fair Money as a customer service rep. I got promoted to be what do they even call it that time? So we were supposed to be in charge of like auditing people's responses. QA. Yeah, we did QA. Then I got promoted to QA. And then, but I left in 2021, where that's when I got my first tech job. In 2021, yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, so now let's talk about Streamlink. What inspired you to build Streamlink and what's it about?
Okay, so initially, right, Streamlink was supposed to be a live commerce app. Like I'd seen the markets in the live commerce market in Asia. Like you know those where you come like all those videos, like all those short clips where you see those Asian people, they just show one clothes, they take it out, they show one clothes and take it up, and then people are just buying, mass buying. So like that live commerce, I was trying to create something like that, like in the African market, because I buy clothes a lot, so I thought, how would I make this process easier for my vendor? Because I saw the way those guys did it, like you just like you one of these places like maybe like 5 minutes after advertising like an item, and then someone's just buying it and it's just very quick and fast. I went to obtain a market for Africa because the clothes I buy, I didn't really like the way my vendor, it just seemed too bulky, like our whole process seemed very bulky, and I just felt like, you know what, I think Streamlink can make this easier. So yeah, that's what Streamlink was initially. Like that's where Streamlink was headed, and initially
It's supposed to be live commerce.
Yeah, like live commerce, basically like live the sales, the auctions, you being able to auction like while on the app and stuff like that. Like quick. You don't need to, because the way my vendor actually does stuff is she posts clothes and then you chat her up and you tell her, is this still available? And if it's still available, you send her money. That seemed very bulky to me. I felt like it was a very simple thing. She posts like, well, you can actually immediately just buy. Like buy, and then all she needs to do is maybe get your delivery details later, or the app can even collect your delivery details, and then when you want to request for delivery, like delivery is sent to you. Like I was looking for a way to like make the whole process easier. You get? So yeah, that was Streamlink was headed towards being like a live commerce. That was like the issue we're trying to solve, the issue with selling, especially for vendors in Africa, and then auctions, basically just a way for people to be able to earn quick, like vendors, whoever is selling it, like a product, obviously rather, a product, to make it easier for them to sell. Yeah.
Okay, so now what's Streamlink?
Okay, so Streamlink has pivoted from that to being like an app for like crypto communities. So like I was saying, like we wanted to do live commerce, and then I remember joining calls when Harry used to host community calls.
Yeah.
I remember joining calls and I would see the whole process of everything, where you ask a question and then they'll type, and then you tell Ademola will go and be looking for the first person that got the correct answer. She'll scroll all the way up, and then she'll be like, oh yes, Joshua got the answer. Someone will be like, no, I said like, no, it's Joshua that answered first. Joshua, where are you from? Joshua will say, I'm from Abuja. They say, okay, yes, Joshua from Abuja, send your address, your prayer.
My Twitter DM.
The process to me was so bulky, like it was crazy. Or when there's a guest speaker on the call, and Harry will say, okay, there's a guest speaker on the call, I want to unmute now so that the guest speaker can talk. If any other person should unmute themselves, I'll kick you from the call. Like the process to me seemed so bulky, you get? So every time I'll join the community calls, and in my head I'm just thinking, how can this be better? Or how can it be easier for us? Because I think a lot of all those apps were not really tailored for crypto communities. Like we do a lot of gifting. Like Super Team Community Call, there's always you answer question, you get your gift and all that stuff. Like apps like what we have currently, like Google Meet, Zoom, those guys were not catering for that. They're not like looking towards our market, like the whole crypto market. So I felt like being able to send funds, like because again, bear in mind that even when we're a live commerce app, we're still enabling transactions in stream, right? Because that's the way the vendor was going to sell. The vendor posts and then you send the money to the vendor. It's not a case of you collect the vendor's account number and do that. Like right from time, Streamlink has always been about how allowing Solana transactions happen in stream. Like users don't need to leave their app to perform that transaction. So even when we're a live commerce app, even when that's what we're trying to solve, we are always like enabling Solana transactions in stream has always been at the core of what we were doing. So when we pivoted to the crypto app, like I think we saw more use case for it actually. Majorly because, just like now what I was saying about like the community calls, when you join community calls, like sometimes during the call, someone just wants to gift another person and all that stuff. They're like, oh, okay, you know what? Oh yeah, damn, you send your account, send your wallet address, you get, and then this thing, you go and copy your wallet address, you open your app and all that. So we just wanted to make it easier. So that now at the base, and right now, I'm Streamlink is captured to like crypto communities.
And last time we spoke, you said Streamlink was heading to 5K call attendees, and I think you guys have surpassed that.
Yeah.
So what's the current metric now?
So we doubled it, like 10K. 10K users as at today. And that's today we're going to like 10K.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you. I know it feels so surreal.
How, like so far, how did you guys achieve? Because I think that's like in less than 2 months or 3 months.
Okay, so to be honest, we couldn't have actually done it without Super Team NG. I mean, the support has been amazing. Super Team NG uses it for calls, so I like, to be honest, we could have done it without Super Team NG.
Yeah, because now we use it for community calls.
Yeah, we use it for a lot of calls. Like I come online and I see someone like, oh, we use Super Team, we use Streamlink for calls, then I'm like, oh, like it's so crazy. Like it's Super Team NG, to be honest. I can't even. It's Super Team NG.
Shout out to Super Team NG.
Shout out to Super Team NG. We could have done it without them.
It's so far, because I think you guys are still in a better phase.
Exactly, we're still in beta, like we're still testing, and like a lot of times, like I sit back and I'm astonished. Like it's crazy for me because I'm like, this product is still, like I think a lot of times I'm scared and I feel like I actually built something that people use, and I'm proud of myself. But I'm also like, it just feels surreal, especially with the amount of users. Like anytime I see our dashboard, our metrics, I'm always stunned. Like the numbers to me look, if I was not the one checking them and someone was telling me, I'd be like, are you sure? Like the time frame is too small. And bear in mind that this 10K users is just from January till now. And again, we couldn't have done it without Super Team NG. We couldn't have.
So what feedback have you gotten from creators and organizers and users Streamlink so far?
Okay, so the thing is, like, we've not really gotten like one specific feedback. We've gotten, like majorly now, like I mentioned earlier, we're still in testing. So initially when we launched, like for people to start using in January this year, the UI was shit, but at least the UI is better now. At least we don't get that much feedback on the UI not working or
so you say when people complain about the UI, you guys went to go and fix it and it has like helped your growth.
Yeah, like not just the UI, like there are bug fixes, there are a lot of features that in my head never occurred to me. And then from community feedback. So like that's what I'm saying, that the feedback I've gotten is not one, it's not just one feedback. I've gotten a lot. Is it on feature updates, on feature updates, bug updates, even UI fixes, like a lot of things that, because again, as a developer, a lot of things that are working locally and you're in your head, this is working, and then you push to production and it's just not working. So like it's crazy, but having people constantly test it means that it's, first of all, you test it till it breaks, so you're sure that it's actually resilient. So most of the feedback I've gotten has been on bug, features, and we try to incorporate everything we get and then just make it better.
Okay. So far, what challenges and setbacks have you faced and how have you overcome them so far?
Okay, to be honest, and I say this all the time, I think that most of my feedback, or most of my challenges rather, that I've faced so far would be in terms of development. And I think because of the phase that we are now, which is like we're still in testing, we're still in development, we're not really in production yet. So most of the feedback I've actually faced have been related to development, having to do this and do that. And I think it's majorly because of, like I said, where we are now. If we had gotten to, maybe if we're done with beta, then we can maybe now face issues with distribution, marketing. But I also think that Super Team NG has done a lot of that heavy lifting for us. Like in terms of marketing, in fact, all of the videos like we've put up on content has been like Super Team NG. So like Super Team NG has kind of like made it easier for us. So because of that, most of the issues I've had to face have been on the development side. If not for Super Team NG, I know I would definitely have more problems than just or more issues than development, because I have to think of distribution, think of marketing, think of content, think of a host of other things. But like right now, like that problem doesn't exist.
So you just focus on backing.
Yeah, we just focus on making it work, focus on the product, we focus on development. Yeah.
Recently, it was this year that you guys helped in streaming the Omega Ball tournament in Abuja.
Yeah, I think it was April or so. Yeah.
Okay, so tell me about the whole thing and like how did it go?
Okay, so first of all, it was a nice experience actually, because I think usually show people that streaming is not just for meetings. You can use it for a ton of other stuff, just like streaming events and like just like the Omega Ball. So I mean, I think it went well. And bear in mind, at that point itself, we're not necessarily really done with our UI, so it was easy. Getting the feedback was also like helpful for us. Like when we use this, we're able to get like feedback on issues and work on updates and stuff like that. So in my opinion, I mean, I think it went well. We're not able to stream the whole match. Like we're not able to stream like the entirety of, was it 90 minutes? I don't know how long the Omega. I think it was 90 minutes or so. I can't remember. So we're not able to stream the whole match, but even as at that, like we're able to get feedback. Like it went well for us because this was like a testing phase. We're trying to have like more like an outing basically, because even at that time we're still working on our revamping our UI. So we're trying to have like an outing. So for us it went well. We're able to get feedback, we're able to get users, and people were able to see that streaming is not just for virtual meetings. You can also use this and stream a match. You can also use this for like make people see that there are other use cases and other like uses of Streamlink essentially.
Yeah. So if you start over building Streamlink, is there anything you would have done differently?
I think so. Majorly because Streamlink has gone through so many phases of like what we're trying to achieve or something like that. I think that there's a lot of features that we lumped together and things that we're not like now, like even it's now that we're trying to remove all those stuff. I think majorly based on user feedback, we're trying to remove some stuff, add some stuff and all that things. I think that if I was going to do Streamlink over, I think it would be easier for me. I would actually streamline. First of all, no, this is what I'm trying to do. This is what I'm trying to achieve. I'm not going to be trying to pick features from here, pick all that. I'm just going to fix that and just, I think it will even be faster for me to start afresh, because I'll know that, okay, it's just this I'm trying to achieve. I'll streamline my process, and I think what would I have just done differently anyway, like I said, just streamline my process.
Streamline your process, Streamlink, streamline.
Yeah, alright.
So far, what soft skill has made a difference, like as a founder, and I don't know, as a female founder, because we don't get much female founders in this space?
So I think communication. I think communication. I think and I think that's also, I think it should also like work on your listening skills, because I think as a founder generally, I think that when you're building, like you know, the last time we had this call, I was thinking about how as a founder, you most of the time you build in a void.
Yeah.
You think that, oh, this is going to make sense, this is going to be good, this is going to be that, right? And then this feature comes out in the market and then nobody gives a fuck. Like, I remember how you spent nights building stuff and days, and you're just trying, because you feel that this feature is the most important one, and you're just trying to push it out, and then
it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't get the traction.
Yeah, it doesn't. What you think, the way you thought it was going to bang, and everybody's going to be like, oh my god, yes, this is that, and then nobody cares, and that's like heartbreaking. But the thing is, I think that one thing you should actually learn is your listening skills, communication skills. You should also be able to listen to what your users say they want. I think it's actually very important. You need to be able to listen to what your users say they want. And I think that generally you should never think of yourself as above criticism. and never think that somebody is too small to tell you, or like, oh, what's this person doing that they're advising me? Because I think that a lot of times as founders, there are certain things that people say to you, and you're like, really? Have you built anything? So what are you saying? You get it? No, we tend to feel that way sometimes. You're like, what have you built that you're talking? But I think that you should actually never look at it as someone is too small to tell you what to do.
So you should be open to
Exactly, you should be open to
criticism,
feedback.
You know, when some people tend to give criticism like a different way. The first for water down what you've been working on before telling you, okay, this is what you should do. But something like positive criticism, not like telling someone that this is so bad. And
so the thing is this, I think that people tend to. I remember one day like that we had a call. Streaming was trying to use Streamlink for a call. That day, throughout that day, I just been working on pushing updates. I just wanted to push updates so that we use it for a call that day. I needed us to test it because we were trying to use it for community calling Abuja. So I needed us to test it so that I can get that feedback because I wasn't sure I'll be able to get like that amount of people on the call again. I needed the numbers, like I could get people to test, but I needed like the numbers that came to the call, the large numbers, so that I'll be able to test and see if this thing will break. So I was trying to push update, and I was unable. I eventually pushed. But in the meantime, people were trying to log in and then they were unable to, and it was like a whole problem and stuff. So they eventually moved to Google Meet. So I joined in the call and I was like, oh, sorry, please, did you guys get, what was the issues you faced? I was trying to get feedback. And one dude just said, oh, are you the product owner? And I said yes, and this dude just went off on me and he was just yelling and just yelling and just yelling. It was crazy. He was just yelling at me. He was crazy. He was just yelling at me. And I was like, I'm sorry, like I just kept apologizing. Like I just kept apologizing. I'm like, oh, I'm really sorry. And he kept telling me, it's not hard. What's there? It's easy to do. It was crazy. I'm not kidding. This dude went up on me. It was crazy. He was like, what is there? It's not so difficult. You should get there for the developer. And in my head, I'm like, no, but all I just did was I just told him like I'm sorry, and I just apologized, and I was like, oh. And to be honest, like the problem was not necessarily from Streamlink because the service they were using was the cause of the issue, that particular problem that they were having. But users don't care.
yeah.
So when it was done, I just kept saying, I'm sorry, and because like at that point I just apologized. I was under a lot of pressure, but I just apologized and I let it go. Now later when I was talking to my friends, and I was like, I feel like that dude was rude, but I was under a lot of pressure, so I just assumed that I was assuming. They were like, no, that he was rude, that he was there, and I was like, okay, so I'm correct. Now why am I telling you this story? And even when people are rude, you just have to, because I worked in customer service for years. I worked in customer service for over a year, over 2 years actually. Even when I worked in Q, I still worked in customer service. And I know that they would always say the customer is always right. Because, I mean, now you don't need, as a founder, how many rude people do you really deal with? You don't deal with rude people. If you work in customer service, you know what it is to deal. you understand what it is to deal with rude people. So,
especially like in a company that has to deal with someone's money.
I'm telling you, no, like it's crazy. It's the craziest thing. But anyway, I think that no matter how the criticism comes, no matter how the feedback comes, whether it's rude, whether it's not rude, whether it's insulting, whether it's not insulting, just look at it and like, I'm trying to make my product better. Okay. And this person is my customer, my user. Am I going to start yelling at my user? Of course not.
Actually,
you can't do that. So like, it's because you spoke about how like sometimes people water your product down and then give criticism. Like, to be honest, a lot of people, sometimes people actually insult you in the name of criticism. People actually insult you.
I know.
In the name of criticism. But I think that what you should do, I mean, it's easier said than done. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
But I think what you should do is to maybe try to filter it. Like pick, okay, yeah, all right. Okay, so this is the issue. Users are unable to log in. I pick that. Every other thing he says that is not a problem, it's not my, like any other thing that he says that is not an issue related to my product, it's not a problem. I just pick, no matter what you say to me. Like, I mean, I've gone on a call with someone and say, oh, you're the founder of Streamlink. Wow, I never expected the founder of Streamlink to be female. And I'm like, okay.
Okay,
but,
gender wars.
But it is what it is, right? And just pick whatever is relevant to your product. Don't really care. I think it's just like the way you say filter the noise.
Yeah.
Filter the noise.
Pick what's important.
Pick what's important. Every other thing that they are saying, just leave it. Just try not to think about it.
What do you mean you didn't expect the founder of Streamlink to be female? What's that supposed to mean?
And it's happened more than once actually, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. Okay. So where do you see Streamlink in 6 months, and what marketing plans do you have to achieve it?
Okay, so Streamlink, why is Streamlink in 6 months? What when 6 months will be the end of the year, right?
Yeah, you should.
Okay, so I'm hoping that by 6 months, in 6 months time, that every single code that Super Energy has will be on Streamlink. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that by then would have been in proper production, not beta. I'm hoping that by then we'll have like better features, like more users, more features, more like better use for users, and then maybe more. I've mentioned more users. I won't say it again because it's very important. The revenue, definitely like revenue and like so much. So why I see Streamlink in 6 months is like hopefully that every core that Super Energy has is on Streamlink. And then we can now maybe look to expand to other communities or other use cases. But yeah.
Okay.
Then for marketing plans, to be honest, like since again we're still in testing, we haven't actually sat down to do the whole marketing discourse. But once we're done with this phase, like the testing, the debugging, all that phase, like once we're sure that this is battle tested production ready code, that this is ready.
Like that's gone through hard times.
I'm telling you, once we're sure that this is ready, then we can now sit down and now discuss like our marketing plan, our marketing reach and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. So what advice will you give to young startup founders? Not like young, but they are just
starting out. I would always advise that you carve a niche. I think a lot of times, like, oh, I forgot to even mention earlier when I was telling you about us when we were trying to pivot from live commerce to the crypto. We wanted to do both of it though. Like it wasn't like we're not trying to pivot. We're trying to say, okay, you know what? Let us get this live commerce market and then let's get crypto communities. I mean, just like I said, at the core, Streamlink really enables Solana transactions, and that's what these guys really need. So let's get both of them and do it together. And Izumi actually told me that you actually have to stick to one, because if you try to do, it's just like they say, jack of all trades, master of none. If you try to do everything, enter all those markets, you find out that there's not really one that you excel at.
You'll be sending messages to like 2 different target audiences.
Yeah, exactly. And then you don't first of all, you don't even know who you want your users to be. So you tend to jump around a lot. And then in the end, you find out that you've wasted a lot of time and you've not even really achieved a lot. So I think that the first thing is to know your user. Have your user base. Know, okay, you know what? Oh, I want to tend I want my niche, my users, my customers are developers. You build for developers. You get feedback of developers. You have them text your product and know that, okay, this is what we want. You ask them, will you use this? Like, tell someone, would you use this? And if the person says, like, you get what I'm trying to say. Like, if you have your user base, you know, okay, will you use this? And based on the feedback they give you, you can reiterate and make your product better. But if you're jumping all over the place, like now you say, okay, you want to have a product, my developers are my customers, maybe students are my customers, and like every other, maybe like a group of people that don't match together. And then you're not going to ask developers, okay, we use it, and they tell you, no, we'll not use this, make this better. You get how to send of people. Most of those people, you find out that they will all have varying opinions and feedback. And then in the end, you find out that you've just wasted a lot of time trying to do what this person said, do what this person said, do what this person said. And wasted time.
Yeah.
So have a user base, stick to one thing, don't jump around. Even if you are, build one thing that has, like, let people know that, okay, this is what you're known for. Even if you're adding other features, let your base be solidified. This is exactly what you're doing. Let that base be solidified. Have a niche for yourself in the market.
Let your products be known for one thing.
One thing, exactly. Then you add other things, and you can also divide them, build on top of it. Just the way you build a house. If the foundation is shaky, it's just going to fall. So like, let your foundation, you know your user base, know your niche, build, let it be strong. Then you can now build other things on it if you want. Okay. So I think know your user base, know your audience. You can't build for everybody. I think that's the problem that as founders we always think that you can build for everybody. You can't build for everybody. You can't build for everybody. Know your users and work with that.
Build for your users.
Build for your users, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. This has been such an enlightening session. So how do people that want to reach out to, I want to get started on Streamlink, reach out, like get started?
Okay, so you can go to thestreamlink.com. That's our website. You can also, if you want to reach out to us on Twitter, at @ustream. Okay. Then my username is Ada_Izimba.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
And if you're just joining us, don't forget to subscribe, if you enjoyed this episode, I know you did, so like and leave a comment. Don't forget to share. See you guys in my next episode. Bye bye.
Bye.